Oh baby guys, we have a delicious cookie recipe. I'm super excited for this because ginger snaps are one of my secret favorite cookies. We never make them. I rarely ever get to eat them, but I remember one Thanksgiving when Matt and I used to live in San Francisco, we did like a Friendsgiving and his best friend's girlfriend made like a triple batch of ginger snap cookies, and I was just sneaking them all night, eating them. Little did I know, the secret ingredient is molasses. So in this kitchen, we've never worked with molasses. This is a fresh jar of grandma's molasses that I just bought. It's not something I would recommend working with unless absolutely necessary. And for something like a ginger snap, you're gonna want the texture and the flavor that the molasses gives. 1 tablespoon is 15 grams of sugar. Since we're only using 1 tablespoon, it's gonna be about a carb per cookie. I think it's absolutely worth it. I think you should use it. It'll definitely elevate the flavor and the texture. If you don't wanna use it though, make another cookie recipe. We got plenty on our food blog: chewy chocolate chip cookies, pecan sandy remix, walnut snowball cookies. Those are like the top 3, I would say. But let's get to making this recipe. First things first, we're gonna get our wet ingredients together. We have half a cup of butter, softened, slightly melted in here. And to this, we are going to add some vanilla, 1/3 cup of erythritol, 1 egg, 10 drops of stevia, and grandma's molasses. Whoa. That doesn't smell good. Does that smell good to you?
It doesn't smell bad.
Is this what? No, it smells like the ginger and soy sauce. I just assumed molasses was like a very thick maple syrup, but I'm completely wrong. So we're gonna do about a tablespoon. So let's give this a whisk. Oh yeah, that's nice and thick. Okay, now we're just gonna add our dry ingredients to this mixture. We are gonna do 1 cup of almond flour, 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, just a very little, half a teaspoon baking soda, pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, and then 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now we are going to whisk that all together. So I've transferred over to a spatula to make sure everything gets fully incorporated. That's beautiful. Oh, and it smells so nice and gingery. Get your oven preheated to 350. And while that's preheating, we're gonna pop this dough in the fridge and let it chill for 10 minutes before we make our cookie balls. All right, guys, our dough has chilled for 10 minutes. I forgot to start recording, and I've already started placing my cookies, but here we have them. I'm using a cookie scooper, but feel free to use your hands and just form balls 1 inch thick and set them far enough apart so that when they do spread, they don't run into each other. Okay, now I'm just gonna flatten them out slightly with my finger. You could use the back of a spoon if you prefer to, just so they look like little discs. And they should spread. That's what almond flour does. Almond flour spreads in the oven. Coconut flour keeps its form. Cookies are ready to go, so we're gonna pop them in the oven at 350, 8 to 10 minutes. We'll be back to taste them. All right, guys, we're back with our ginger cookies, and I was totally wrong. I expected these to turn out snappy, but they didn't. They are actually soft batch, which I'm not mad at. So very, very soft. We let them cool about 15 minutes. Maybe if you bake them a little longer, because they're not burnt at all. So if you bake them a little longer, they might get a little more sturdier, but I like soft. So I feel like serving these up with like a dollop of ice cream or some whipped cream or some like berry jam that you've created would be phenomenal. So I'm gonna give these a taste test, and like you can see how soft they are. Oh man, and they're so deep in color. You can smell that ginger. They like melt in your mouth. They're very soft and bready in a good way though, because they're so rich in flavor. A lot of ginger comes through. It's really, really good. I think that rich, deep flavor that I'm getting honestly is that 1 tablespoon of molasses. It really makes the difference. Oh, there's that spice of the ginger that comes through in like a ginger snap cookie. We've never made a cookie that's this flavorful, but they are not ginger snaps. They are ginger softs, but super delicious. So I highly recommend you make these. Make them for your kids' bake sale. These would be great right out of the freezer. 100%. We're gonna pop these in the freezer right after. But anyway, linked in the description below are the ingredients and the instructions on how to make these. Let us know what you think. Are you fine with some bready, molassesy, flavorful cookies? All right, thanks for joining me. See you soon.